Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Taya and this is Papagayu, my jungle core island. Today we're going to be looking at Tucker's house. I was thinking that he could have a little orange orchard. However, this is right behind my volcano area and it's kind of hard to see, but what I'm going to actually do is move his house away and create this as a second level so that there will be like an incline over here. You go up to the orchard and then you can walk around on the back here and come back down before you're at Alfonso's house. So as you can see, it's the entire back portion, and I think if I keep the pathing pretty light or just with custom designs, the volcano will still stand out as a main feature on the map. So let's start by going to resident services, getting Tucker's house moved onto the beach, and then we'll go from there. Hello everyone, welcome to the voiceover portion, and we're moving Tucker's house. I also just fixed up one little section that I worked on the toxic jungle, but I had left it so that a tree didn't grow, so here I am just fixing up that little portion, clipping away some of the terraforming so that that little bamboo tree will grow, adding some vines to make it look a little bit more natural. And we're continuing on to the area that we're going to start terraforming. First, it was time to carb load so that I had enough energy to get through this build. And then before I had started recording this, I actually was setting up to stream. So I had the default notifications set up through Streamlabs, and I am so not used to that at all. So that default notification that I was just testing out with scared me so bad. So hopefully I can work on those notifications. Hopefully they won't be the standard zombie running around, but that perfectly leads me into what I wanted to talk to you about, which is Friday. So that's Friday, November 27th. I am going to be having my very first live stream to celebrate getting to 5,000 subscribers, which is a huge milestone and I am just eternally grateful for. I'm so honored. And now I am so nervous because I am committing to getting set up to do the live stream for Friday, getting everything organized. As you can see, my alert boxes don't look too fancy, so I got some work to do before Friday, but getting to 5K was kind of a motivator too, because that was approximately a number that I had in mind of when I wanted to start live streaming. I wasn't sure if it would be 4 or 5K that I would be ready for, but it looks like it's going to be 5, and I'm going to push myself to get it ready for then. Alfonso was being incredibly adorable during this little section of terraforming, just doing the zoomies, and right here is when he actually goes into the back, and I didn't really want him to go back there, so I kind of tried to coax him, and he literally ran right out of the area, and I was like, no, I tried to block it up before he would come back, and then he ran back again. I was like, no. It was like a little kid. I wasn't even upset. I wasn't even getting frustrated at all with him because it was literally the most adorable thing ever. Anyways, that was pretty much the most exciting part about this terraforming. You've kind of seen me do the general shape of it, and I'm just going to lead it down here and create a little area for an incline to go, and then an area for an incline to go on the other side, and I'll catch you back when all of that terraforming is in place. Let's skip forward. And we are back in resident services with Tucker to grab his house plot again, and then we'll head back over to the site. I also grabbed this log staircase incline, but as you'll notice, I do not pay Lloyd at all. So I was very surprised the next day when I came back and there was no incline built, but that's what happens when you don't pay Lloyd. On a bonus though, my villagers did contribute about $770 towards that incline in one day. So that was incredibly adorable. I also realized that I probably should have marked out where I wanted Tucker's house to go before I put the incline in, because now I'm noticing that the incline is pretty close to his house. And honestly, I'm kind of glad that I didn't plan it out, because I feel like the distance between his house and the incline makes it really cute. And I feel like my natural tendency is to add a lot more space than is actually necessary, and then I have to fill it with something. And if you just put it close, then it can just be path. So that kind of worked out in my favor. And now here I'm trying to organize an area for an incline to come down on this side, but it was a kind of tight space, and I do want it to feel like you still have an opportunity to go to the left there to get to the secret beach. So I cut it back a little bit, and I am very happy with how this turned out as well. I like having an incline on both sides of this build, and the only reason why I'm able to do this many inclines is because I have the 2 extra inclines. So now with that last incline, Papagayo has 10. And we are done adding inclines to this island. If I could add more and more, I would just keep adding staircases everywhere. But thank God we have those ladder setup kits. It's so helpful. We can put them everywhere. And I'm trying to plan out the orchard. Originally, I thought I wanted to just be like a straight line across the back. But I do change it up a little bit and kind of push that final tree on the left forward a little bit. But we are going to go forward one day, skipping through a little bit of the tree management here. And I've seen now that I did not pay off the stone staircase. So we paid off the rest of that, and it was kind of a bummer because I did want to put in that other incline on this day, but we got working on some of the pathway, which I just wanted to use custom path throughout this whole area. This is like the classic, the one and only dirt path that has the leaves around it. I will leave, of course, all the codes down in the description box below, but this path is so tried and true. I feel like I didn't want to use it because everybody was using it, but then once I started using it, I'm like, this is why everybody's using this path. It's gorgeous. It's so natural. It just has so much little detail around it. And so you can see how I laid out the orange trees as well. I kind of tucked that one forward so it felt a little bit more natural, still feeling very orchard-like. And I love all of the pops of orange. They feel like they really suit with Tucker. So I connected the 2 log staircases with a continuous line of path. Normally I would break it up a little bit, but I decided to go continuous, and I'm really happy with the way that the final version turned out. And then I began my orange flower journey, and I searched my island high and low for every orange flower that I could find. And I have some other colored flowers in my pockets because I was literally going around and trading out orange flowers everywhere. I need to go and grab some more flowers. I've been so caught up with gathering 2.0 items from Treasure Islands that I have neglected to grab as many flowers as I need, because for every build on Papagayo, I need so many flowers. And with the new crops, I noticed that the pumpkins and the carrots are both orange, and so I decided to add in a little bit of a garden plot right here next to Tucker's house. Maybe he loves orange plants and flowers. Orange is his favorite color, I've decided, for him, and maybe that's why he is orange. I've heard if you eat a lot of carrots, then you can turn orange, so maybe that's what's happened to him. Also, 5 stars happened at some point because I had a lily of the valley. When did that happen? I don't know. I went back and checked with Isabel and I had 4 stars again. So at some point I had 5 stars. I don't know when this happened. I just found that yesterday and I was like, are you kidding me? And it happened to be a Sunday this day that I found the lily of the valley, so I couldn't ask Isabel right away when I saw it. Because it's a Sunday in August and there was fireworks going on. Anyways, it's a whole thing. And I don't know when I had 5 stars. And now I feel like I want to go around and pick up some loose items, because that's the only thing she says is wrong with my island, and get it to 5 stars just because I can. Maybe we'll do that sometime. I think it'd be super fun to have a 5-star island again. Glenny was 5 stars for a long time, which was super fun, and I had tons of Lily of the Valley from that experience. But other than that, that's the only thing that you really get from having 5 stars, and I kind of like the aesthetic of dropped items. I'm going back and forth here, but basically, that's it. Continuing along with the orange theme, I'm using these paper lanterns, which I really love. The only other place that I've used them on my island is near Able Sisters. I'm noticing now that I did not include any tiki torches in his little neighborhood area, but I think that the paper lanterns kind of suit his little orange aesthetic better anyways. And I'm using the log fence, Harv's fence in this area for the first time. I think it suits the orchard vibe really well. It has a natural feeling, but it's also not over the top, so it still suits in with a lot of different aesthetics. It suits in with my jungle aesthetic. And I decided to give Tucker a little picnic spot right in front of his house, and then also a little stall where he can sell some of his produce and orange things. I don't have very many orange crafted recipes, but when I get more, I will incorporate them into this area. Right now, I just had the infused water dispenser, and then I had a little orange popsicle that I put on the stall over here. And beside the stall, I did put in a little rug with a bamboo bench on top and some cardboard boxes with the orange design as well. I had to pick some oranges off of the trees here to craft some different orange crafted items. I crafted an umbrella and also that little table. I imagine this is like a little store that Tucker has to sell his things, so I put the cardboard box there. And then I also really love these turnip barrels. They are a lighter color than the other barrels. It kind of suits in with the lighter tan colors of this build. So I stuck them in the very back here with another cardboard box on top, and then I just added everything back in that I had there before. The festival balloon is actually really nice because it adds some height to the area, especially when you're coming up the incline, you can see it. And some drop flowers because I had them in my inventory and they were orange, so that's how that happened. I think because of the update coming along and so many new items being added to the game, my design process has become a little bit scattered. And not that it was super refined before, but I find that I'm not following my process the way that I used to. Like I used to just start with trees and pathing and then add the flowers, but then I'd add bushes a little bit later on or fencing in different times. I don't even remember what I used to do because I'm so like with the 2.0 items, I remember them at different times. So like I remembered I still hadn't used all the Harv's fencing. I remember that I have these cool new bushes that I can put in, the plumeria bushes. I think they're gonna look beautiful combined with the yellow and red hibiscus. I can't wait to see them all in bloom because I don't actually get to see them completely in bloom in this build. They're just budding out for the most part. And I added these bamboo trees and sliced them down so you have some bamboo stumps just to add some texture to the ground, something a little bit different. I think it turned out really good. Now, this little picnic area, I knew the elements that I wanted to have on the picnic area, but it took me a hot minute to get them set up the way that I wanted to. So here is what the final layout looks like. I just saved you, seriously, 5 minutes of your life watching me move a little round stool around and move a lawn chair back and forth. But the way that the lawn chair is situated right now makes for really good photos when you're actually laying in it. So I think it's super, super cute. A lot of what I had left to do is just fill in little areas with weeds and bushes, but I also added some dropped oranges, moved this tree over by one spot. That was important. And the star of the show, my new favorite thing ever, is the glowing moss. I'm putting that literally everywhere on my island, trying to be sparse with it because if you put too much in an area, it can look a little bit repetitive. In the same way that if you just plant a bunch of weeds and let it grow, it can look a little bit wild and repetitive. It does have its place, however, and I really like interspersing all these elements together. The glowing moss, especially because it has so many different stages and also because it doesn't seem to grow. Somebody please correct me if I'm wrong, but the glowing moss seems to stay the same exact height and not duplicate, which is a game changer. I wish that regular weeds would do that, to be honest. They grow like crazy and they get out of control. Next day, we had a thinker on our hands. Leonardo was on the fence about leaving the island, and this was such a hard decision for me. This is sped up like 3 times, so I was really waiting and pausing through all of this dialogue and struggling, as you can see, to decide. I ended up letting him go. I don't honestly know what I was thinking. I should have just not let him go and waited for somebody else to ask, but honestly, I haven't gone on a villager hunt in a really long time. Nobody asks to move out on this island, so I just went with it. And we're gonna have to do a hunt real soon for our next jungle dreamy. I really need a smug. I really need Phil on my island. Don't ask me why Phil, but he seems like the most appropriate jungle smug villager for my jungle island. So we're gonna try to get Phil the next time that we go villager hunting so that I can get those smug reactions. I need the flourish in my life. I haven't had that flourish reaction in forever, actually since Glenny. I need all the reactions. Anywho, that was a rant and a half. I wanted to finish off this little entrance area heading towards the museum, give it a little bit of texture and height. This bamboo tree, I loved it, but it was just too tall and covering the staircase and kind of making an awkward entrance into Tucker's orchard. So I removed that. Just planted some coconut as just a decorative accent, and then continued with my own plank design that I created a while back. I can't believe I actually created this plank before I even had 3 stars. And then of course I refined it more after I had 3 stars and I changed it quite a bit, but it's pretty cute to know that I designed this before I had 3 stars on this island. And I noticed the only thing that was kind of missing from this little area was some height. So I went into my storage and I grabbed this glowing moss statue. Look what happens when you tap on this glowing moss statue. It glows. Go figure. But with one final loading screen style tool selection, we are done. So here is the final walkthrough, everyone. You come from Alfonso's house and you have an incline up and we are in the orchard. I am not going to time travel more forward to see these bushes grown in because Leonardo asked to move out. So today is his final day on Papagayo. I am very sad to see him go, but I have 3 jock villagers and like none of my villagers have been moving. I'm more attached to Biff than I was to Leonardo. 3 jocks. That's so much muscle talk. I can't deal with it. Anyways, here is the final walkthrough. These 3 trees will have fruit on them eventually. I am obsessed with how this area turned out. It's so lush and so full of orange items. I just basically went through and found all of the orange items that I could in my inventory, and I'm so happy with how it turned out. It very much matches Tucker. Also, it just so works out that I don't have many other like hardwood trees on my island. Having all of these fruit trees, which are the kind of trees that bugs can spawn on, means that Tucker will always have some bug friends. I didn't have to put down bug models. They will just always be around for him. And the entrance coming up from this way connects him to Blathers' area and the rest of the island as well. So it creates a nice loop here on the back of my island. Having 2 entrances to this area makes it really convenient. I didn't really destroy the look of the volcano even by extending that cliff up to the back. So thank you so much everybody for watching today. I hope you enjoyed today's speed build and I will see you all in the next one. Bye everybody.